Alright, in today's video, I'll be showing you how to add on from last video. I know I made a pretty simple and easy to follow GFX. So today, I'll show you that three different tricks in a blender to make your GFX stand out. Firstly, I'll be showing you how to add fog in the blender. Then second, how to add a gun muzzle flash. And lastly, how to import an image into Blender to make cool things like flags and TV screens. But before I get started, I wanted to mention two things. I just finished making the Discord server, and I will leave a link in the description if you want to join, just to hang out or ask questions about GFXs. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that you might notice I'm using a different rig today. This is the Rhino Rig V2. I just wanted to branch out and try something new. You can still use the Softy rigs from last video, but without further ado, let's get started. Alright, to start us off, I just made a real scene real quick, and now we're going to add our fog to it. Now, what you want to do is just hit Shift A and go in the mesh and go in the cube. Now you just want to bring the cube up a little bit and hit S. Now, hitting S is going to scale it. Now, we just want to scale it big enough to where it just fits in our whole scene. Let me make it a little bit bigger to fit in our camera. As you see, it covers the whole scene. That's all you really need. Now after that, what you want to do is go into shading, new, and then you're going to see a principle. You just want to delete that principle. Then you want to hit Shift A to add a new node. And as you see, shader, principle volume, that's what you want to add. Connect volume to volume. Now as you can see, we already made the fog effect. And as you can see, it's pretty dense and you can't see anything in it or out of it. So what you want to do is just switch the density to 0.1. Alright, that's a little bit better. Say if you don't want it as strong, you can always go lower, 0.05. It's not that strong now. And we can see our character pretty well. Now, some cool lighting effects you can do with this is, I already set the lighting up. See, we got one here. Let me just move it real quick to how I like it. Adjust the strength real quick. Let's change one of the colors to yellow. I think yellow would look nice. But if you don't remember how to add a light source, what you want to do is hit Shift A, go all the way down. Now I'm using point lights for this one. You can try out the other lights if you want to, but for this I'm just going to use point lights. And I just set one light source to one side and the other to the next. Let me just adjust my camera real quick. Alright. Let me bring that one into frame. Go up a little bit. And let me hit render. This is just an example of what you can do with the fog. You can make this nice little effect you got here. You could also make a nice like city scene. Make it foggy. Maybe like have one of those like dark scenes. If you want to do something like with horror. I can't say horror. Horror. I can't say that word. I think you get what I mean. I'm gonna leave this in just to show you how much I can't speak. Anyway, as you see, this is a pretty nice lighting effect. Without the fog, I'm gonna show you how it looks like right now. Let me just delete the fog cube. As you can see, you're not gonna get those like 2 point lights. You are gonna get the effect of like the two light sources hidden, but you're not gonna get the same effect as with the fog. Uh, I think the fog just makes it look better. Of course, you can have those like bright lights in it. Say if I move these out of frame, and let me just add in our fog back. All right, there we go. And I just go back in this, and I move these out of frame. You can have that nice lighting effect without those two like bulging lights. And let's see, they are there. Nothing too crazy, but you can do some pretty nice effects with this. Alright, and now I'm going to move on to how to add a gun muzzle flash. Alright, as you can see, I already made another scene, just an example of what you can do with the muzzle flash. Alright, you want to start off by going to Shift A, Mesh, and then you want to either bring in a UV sphere or an icosphere. I'm going to use a icosphere for this one. Now, once you have it in, you just want to go into Edit mode. Now, deselect everything and then go to this select box. And I like to select just the front half. Make sure you got a good portion of it. And if you don't have enough of the half that you want, you can just hit Shift again, then bring in the box tool again, and then just keep selecting until you have at least half of the icosphere selected. Sorry, my wording's a bit slow. And then you just want to extrude to it. And if you don't see the extrude tool, it's right here, the one highlighted. And you just want to extrude it out just a little bit, not too far. And then what I like to do is just scale it down, which is S again. And just bring it down to like a tip. Just like that. Now, this doesn't really look like a blast just yet. So you want to go back to object mode, select it, and you want to add in a couple modifiers. Now, just want to click modifier, and you want to add displace. And then you want to add in another displace. There you go. Now you also want to add in a subdivision. This is going to give it more definition and points to work with. Then after that, what you want to go down to is texture, new. All right. Now there's two types I recommend using, which is clouds and Venoy. I think I like Venoy for this one. Alright, so after that, we basically have our shape of the explosion. Now, what you want to do is then go into shading, new, and you just want to delete that principle. Now, we're going to add a lot of things here. And the first one is an emission node. You want to go like that, and you want to connect it to volume. Then after that, what you want to add is a color ramp. Then a mix color, sorry. Connect that to the emission, and connect that to air, and then you want to connect another color ramp, and then connect this one to a noise texture. Alright, so if you need to take a second, I'm just going to leave this up here just so you guys can see what to connect and where to connect it. Alright, then after that, what you want to do is you want to get the color. Now, there's just two colors I would recommend, which are yellow and orange. Now I'm gonna go for an orange muzzle flash, and just move this black up a little bit. Now to get the same color as this one, what you want to do is click and drag this drop color into it. As simple as that. And then we want to change the white to a black, and to do that pretty easily, you just want to turn down the value and then boom, black. And the ratios you want to do for the color ramps, this is like 2080, and this is once again 2080 just flopped. And after that, you're pretty much done with the muzzle flash. It's gonna look like this little mess, but let me just desize it and bring it to our gun. Make sure we have it lined up pretty well. Probably still a little too big, even for a magnum we have. Alright, let's bring it down, back. We just want to make sure that it's lined up with our gun. Maybe rotate it up, so the gun is pointing a little bit up. Now, it's going to look like that until you go to viewport rendered. Well, as you can see, that it looks like a muzzle flash, but it doesn't look quite bright enough, and that is because we need to select it again, go into shading, and turn up this emission. Um, I think anywhere from 10 plus is pretty good. I like to go for 13. So let me just turn it up, uh, turn it down a little bit to 13. All right, and then we want to go back into that viewport of rendered. As you can see, it looks a lot better. I'm not really liking the orange we got from it, so let me change that real quick to maybe a more orangey type. And let's switch that again. Drop color, go to layouts, and let's look at it again, see if we like it. All right, I like it a little bit better, but one thing that you probably will notice is that a muzzle flash has light coming from it. And to add that is pretty easily. You just want to go to Shift A, go back down, and if you want a point light, just bring it on up. Make sure it's lined up with the muzzle flash. But right there is nice. I'm going to put a little bit above. And then we just want to match the color of the muzzle flash. That's close enough. And let's say it's 100 should be good enough. Alright, and there you go. You have a semi-realistic muzzle flash. I know there are a lot better tutorials out there for muzzle flash, but I think for a beginner's guide, I think this is pretty decent for a muzzle flash. It's not too complicated. Now you can always make this better. I do recommend looking at other tutorials. I do mine pretty simple since I'm not trying to spend a lot of time on just one muzzle flash. But I really like how this turned out. And if you want to use it, go ahead. If you think you want to use a more realistic one, uh, I wouldn't blame you. But I think this works pretty well for what we're going for. Anyway, on to the next thing. Alright, for our last one, this is to import an image into Blender and how to do stuff like a TV. Now, I did say in the beginning that I would show you how to make a flag, but I feel like that one needs its own separate video. So maybe in the next video I'll show you how to make a flag out of an image. But for now, I'll show you how to do stuff like as a TV or as a painting. As you see, I already made a TV scene right here, and just to show you a little preview of what we're gonna end up with. We're gonna end up with something like that. Alright, now to start off, what you actually need to do is go into Edit, Preferences, and go to Add-ons. Then you just want to go to Official, and you want to type in Image, and make sure that Import Images as Planes is enabled. Now once you do that, it's pretty simple from there. Now what you want to do is you want to go to Shift A, and then go to Image. Now you want to go to Image as Planes. And then after that, what you want to do is just find an image that you like. Let me just bring in one from one of my projects. Let's go into that one. All right. Let me just place it over here. That's a bit tiny. Let's scale it up. All right. Now, as you can see, if I go into rendered mode, that's not going to have that bright shine. And what you need to do is go into, well, select it first. What you need to do is select it and go into shading. All right. As you can see, it has the properties and nodes. Let me just move these around so they're easier to see. Now, what you want to do after that is just delete the principal, Shift A, and you just want to add an emission node. Now, color the color, emission the surface, Now, depending on how bright you want that TV screen to be, is your strength. I believe that one is at an 8 right now, so let's go to this one about an 8. Now, as you can see, it's bright, and if we go back into viewport or rendered, that it is giving off the light. Now, say if you have a colorful one, like say this one was half pink, half blue, that light would reflect off as a light source. Let me see. So, as you can see, that this one is more of a blue shade, and it is giving off that blue shade, and you see a little bit of the red there too. And this one's white, and it's giving off that white emission. So, it is going to be look like a realistic TV. Um, sorry, I'm losing my voice. That's really all you need for the TV. Now, if you want to get a TV model like this, last video I told you guys about Blender Kit, and if you still have it, you just need to type in this models TV, and this is where I find losing my voice. This is where I found this model, and you just need to scale it up. Let me move it over here so it's close to this one. Now, the reason why I already pre-made this one is because lining it up does take time. So give me 1 second to line it up. This one is not the size of the TV, but that's okay. So I can add, I guess. We just want to line it up to the TV. And there you go. That's how you make an image into a TV. Now, if you don't want to add that emission node and just want to make it a painting, then you just look up a painting and then insert the image into there. But it's not too hard, not too difficult. I'm losing my voice, so I think I'm going to end the video here. Don't forget the Discord server invite link is in the description. And if you have any suggestions for the next video, I already know I'm going to do the flag video in the future. I'm probably not next, but maybe next. I really haven't decided. I'm losing my voice slowly. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the Discord. I'm losing my voice. Sorry. Anyway, have a good day.